energy crisis and a range of other preventable environmental hazards, one company in Cape Town have come up for what could be a solution to these challenges. A Cape Brick company produces bricks made out of 70% of recyclable material and seeks to promote sustainable development through manufacturing and supplying environmentally friendly concrete products. From our studios in Cape Town, we're joined today by Anthony Gracie, the Managing Director of Cape Brick. Anthony, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks very much for having me.
If we can start with this concept of a recyclable brick, what is this going to do for a country like South Africa?
Well, I think it's two things. One, we're obviously going to use up the recycled material, which we then won't go into landfill. And secondly, obviously, it reduces the demand for material that needs to be mined out of the ground.
Just how much of recycled material is used in this manufacturing process?
We use around 400 tons of material a day.
All right, then just looking at how this can actually start helping us with an energy crisis, being more environmentally friendly, it's almost as if we're going to have to get government stakeholders involved in using products like these. How willing are they to consider a greener future, would you say?
Look, at present, there's very little assistance from the government or the local municipalities to actually specify products made from recycled materials. We sell our products into the open market and compete with products made from normal straight virgin materials. There seems a willingness in the future to get involved. The material can also be used for roadwork materials and so on, but the engineers, particularly from the municipalities, are not very keen to specify those materials. So work needs to be done on that in the future.
What are some of the other challenges we see for businesses, smaller businesses, in respect of recycling?
Well, I think that probably the major challenge is the question of capital cost. It's a hugely capital-intensive business. You need a lot of money to get started. There's obviously also quite a lot of research and development that needs to go into using the material in the products. And then also there are an awful lot of environmental things that need to be complied with. You can't just begin recycling. You have to have a waste license from the Directorate of Waste Management. And then you have to comply with dust emission standards and noise standards, etc., etc. So it's quite a difficult thing to get going.
Just tell us about some of the other spin-offs that the recycling process can have that will benefit communities.
Well, look, there are certain benefits. For instance, we produce quite a lot of waste wood out of the process, and we're in the process of beginning to supply that to the neighbouring communities for fuel. We're also going to assist our neighbouring community of Sweet Home Farm with our crusher sand, which is going to go into building houses, sandbag houses. So it's a fairly new development, and we're quite excited about getting involved in that.
Looking at a city like the city of Cape Town, how much building material does a city like that produce a year? And again, how are we going to put the focus on using more environmentally friendly products?
In terms of building material, the city, the last study I looked at, produces around about 1 million tons of building waste a year. And I'll say currently probably around about a third of that gets recycled. We do just less than 10%. And our sister company on the same site as us supplies about another 10% into the market for roadwork materials. Yeah, so there's a lot of scope in the future for increasing, the use of recycled materials.
Well, Anthony, I thank you for joining us today. Anthony there is the Managing Director of Cape Brick, just letting us know how we can all work towards a bit of a greener future